How do you know your snake wants out? That's a pretty good sign. Hello! On this week's horribly edited video, I want to answer a question that I get pretty often, and that is, how do I get my snake to the point where I can sneak my hands and fingers in there and they can differentiate between me and food? There is a purpose to sticking my hands and fingers inside of their enclosures and working to acclimate them to that interaction. It first and foremost makes taking care of them much easier. They are bioactives. I do need to go in and like spot clean, aerate the soil, change their waters on a regular basis, and it makes my life a lot easier when I don't need to like wrestle them out of the enclosure to keep everyone safe. I can just do it with them still in there, and it also reduces that stress level because they're used to me being all up in their space. The other reason is if I need to go in and pull them out for like an outreach event or take them to the vet, anything like that, again, they're used to me coming into their enclosure, and it just makes it a lot easier to work them out if they're not doing choice-based. Because sometimes you do need to get your animals out whether they want to come out or not. So it just makes that process a lot easier. So there is a method to, or a reason behind the method. Now I'm gonna show you the process that I use to keep myself safe and make sure the animals have a positive experience. I'm gonna show you with some of the babies from the Stella and Aries clutch, as well as Stella and maybe even Aries. Aries is in shed. So yeah, let's jump right in. Aura is displaying in an ideal situation where if I want to hang out with her, get her out, etc., she's at her glass. So I can just open it up. Hello. And this is a really good introduction of like fingers in their face and hands, because she's just in curious mode. She's not in food mode at the moment. So I will take a little bit more risks because she's obviously tiny, so a bite from her would not be bad. But I will intentionally place my hands and fingers close to her face and just let her explore and let her decide what she wants to do and how she wants to react. Hi, pretty girl. She's one of our very social anery females from this clutch, so she generally just wants to come right out and say hola. All right, let's move on to, this is Fuse. He's one of our anery motley boys from this clutch. He tends to be a little bit more food motivated sometimes. So let's see what he does. So generally what I'll do if I see that they are kind of a little bit more potentially food zoned, I will usually kind of move things around and then go in from behind. And that will usually tell them that there's no food. So look at him, he's just like, oh wait, what's that? Hi, buddy. So he is placing his face on my fingers. I'm not moving my fingers towards him because he's just like, wait, what's going on? He's figuring it out. The thing with, one of the reasons I love keeping the babies in a bigger space, with food mode, if I were to go like straight in with my finger from the very beginning, they'd probably, or not probably, but you have a higher likelihood of getting a food nip from a baby if you just go straight forward at their face. But now that I have kind of essentially shown him that I am not food, I can put my fingies in front of his face. Oops, sorry, and accidentally boop his nose. Sorry, buddy. That was clumsy humanness. But even with startling him a little bit, he's like, oh wait, okay, bye. All right. So, oh, it's dark in here. So that's kind of my general approach to working with the babies. I try not to accidentally startle them like I did with Hughes. He's fine, he just kind of snuck back in. I made sure he wasn't like, if they zoom away, like they're really scared and trying to run away from me, I will pull them out, interact with them until they've calmed down and realize that everything is okay, and then I will put them back. So I'm gonna show you one more time kind of how I work with the babies. So this, I'm gonna show you with Raiden. This is our holdback boy from this clutch. So this is our boy that we're keeping. He's a Patty Motley Snow. He's slowly coming out of his shell, but he's definitely a little bit more shy. Now he's up on his shelf. So he's on his shelf. Hi, buddy. He actually poked his head up. If they're sleeping, I do my best to kind of gently wake them up. So I'll do that by gently just kind of placing my fingers here. He's already awake. Hi, buddy. You wanna come sniff? Hi. So he's definitely gotten way better as far as being, he was a little defensive, which, I mean, he's 2 months old. They're allowed to be defensive. They're tiny little noodles. Everything is scary. So if you move really mindfully with them, they tend to do way better. Hi, buddy. So I just give him pets, and he's, you know, he's still, you can see his tongue clicks. He's still a little cautious. Oh my God, he's so light. The camera doesn't want to focus on him. But yeah, he's not being defensive. He's just accepting pets and being like, okay. So I'm just showing him that he's safe and nothing bad is happening. And if I can get them to engage with me and like sniff, then that's even better. You gonna do it? Gonna go sniff my thingy? He's so handsome. Look at you, handsome boy. But yeah, I don't push it with them. If they are not really wanting to come out and they're all cozy and sleeping, then I will just have a positive in-enclosure interaction with them and then leave them to their nap. So let's bump it up a notch and move to, actually, let me show you how I work with Chihaya, because Chihaya is a little bit more shy. She's one of our 2-year-olds. She's one of our sub-adults. Now, Chihaya's in a little bit of a difference. Her enclosure is too small, full disclosure. She needs an upgrade, Shy needs an upgrade, Centauri needs an upgrade. We are in the process of figuring out the layout and making that happen for them. Chihaya does use all of her space, but she does tend to, she's a little less interactive than the rest of them. So I like to just kind of, right now my phone in my hand is in her house. Hi, sweetie. You wanna come out? And once I know that she's not gonna come out hot, because she does sometimes, so that is a good indication of she is not in food mode. She is in, I'm being shy, or at least cautious. So that tells me she's at least not in food mode. She could drop into defensive mode, but if I approach her mindfully, which just like with the boas, I will take off the hide. I apologize, her shelf needs to be cleaned. It's also a little stained. I need to get some vinegar in here and clean it off. So same with the babies, I will go from the top and behind and kind of let her know that I'm here. And then sometimes she will turn around. And my goal is to get her to sniff and interact with me. This is the terrifying part if you're not used to working with snakes, especially if it's a new snake, especially if you've never worked with them before, because they could very well bite you. I am fine with that risk. I have been bitten plenty of time before. It's not nearly as bad as a lot of people think it is, especially if it's a defensive bite, because they literally just tag you with their mouth open and you get little pinpricks and then it's done. So, but she's just, I think she's trying to pretend that she's not here. Can I not see you? Are you just frozen? Are you frozen, girl? But that's, I would call that a pretty darn positive interaction for her. Getting her, she's really good about having hands in her enclosure. But yeah, that's the process with Chihaya. She's obviously bigger than some of the babies. I still think she's under 5 feet. She's definitely under 5 feet. She's our tiniest lady. She comes from very small genes. So yeah, let's bump it up a size. One last thing with Chihaya, because I actually need to pull her out to get her hide back on there. The way that I get her out is I just grab her again from behind where her head is and pull her out. And there she is. Up she comes. Hi, sweetheart. And she's totally fine. And then I can put her hide back in and put her back in. All right, moving on to Aries. He is the dad of the babies. He is in shed. So I'm going to, heavy door, show you how I work with him. I also brought him some water because this is our little thing that we do. So Aries, buddy, are you sleeping? He's such a potato. Hi, buddy. So Aries is very sweet. He is still a snake, so he could, you know, at any point in time that I come in and work with him, he could do food mode, drop into food mode or defensive mode. But he's, for the most part, very sweet. He's in shed right now, and he's like super tolerant. Look at your face, hi, handsome. But again, I like to put my hands on some part of their body that isn't their tail and isn't their head, because those are the least sensitive parts of their body. With retics, I can touch them on the top at the lower ends of their body, and they tend not to startle. My scrub, I have to go from underneath. Hi, handsome. But then I'll show, like, he knows that I'm in here. He knows that I'm not food. He's actually probably looking for water because I have him trained. So let's offer him some water. Hi, sweet boy. He's just I'm so enamored with this dude. He's such a good boy. All right, let's offer him his water. Hey, buddy. Bottle service. Look at him, he gets so excited. He knows that I bring him water. Are you thirsty? Can you find it? So if you're trying this with your animal, generally just being patient, because sometimes they'll miss it a little bit. It takes them a second to find it. But just taking your time and letting them, there he goes. Slurp, slurps. And now he's drinking his water. Every time he's in shed, this is what we do. It's pretty amazing. So he's, I mean, I feel like this is testament to the fact that these animals can learn. When he is in shed and I come into his enclosure, he will pop his head up and be all curious because he knows that I'm going to bring him water. And he literally looks for water. But also, you can work with them to the point of them being able to differentiate between you and food, or like your hand in the enclosure versus food in the enclosure. It does take time. It takes a lot of repetition, but I truly do believe that these animals are so much smarter than we give them credit for. Hi, do you have soggy chin? Right? Gotta show them that there's no water left. I mean, there's water if you want it, bud. But you seemed like you were done. Good job. All right, and the last animal I was gonna show you is Stella. She's our 12-foot girl. She's the mom of that clutch of the babies that I showed at the beginning of the video. Yeah, I'm mainly focusing on the retics because they tend to be known as like very food motivated. So I just kind of wanted to share my process specifically with them. So this is Stella. Hi, pretty girl. She was out exploring last night, so she's a little sleepy this morning. So one thing I will do that I do not do when there's food involved, I will actually like say hello, hi pretty girl, and try and get their attention that I am at the door. This generally is the first indication for them that no food is involved. So just to kind of, that's the way that I work with them. So I will open the door. Actually, I should have opened the other door. Yeah, let me open the other door because the rest of her body is down this way. So let me open the other side. Whoops. You know what? It's unedited or horribly edited video for a reason. So yeah, so she's been liking to hang out on her cool side lately. So you can see her face. There it is. So there's her face. And then the rest of her body is right here. So what I usually do is just begin, just like with the other animals, petting her here just to let her know I'm here. And let me see if I can work this cork off really quick. All right, the phone's a little crooked, but I wanted to show you the entire process. So let me get this off. She already knows I'm here. So I'm just gonna try and work this off. Oh, hi isopods. She has so many isopods in here that are hanging out on the cork bark. You're so liked in your house, in your cork bark house. Good girl. Alright, let's see if I can just do this. Oops, here, so I don't lose any of her isopods. Wow, there we go. Alright. Make sure nobody fell. Okay, back to it. There's all of her 12 foot of beautifulness. So I will proceed doing what I did when the cork bark was on her and just give her pets and let her know. And then, I mean, she already knows that there's no food. Hi, sweetie. Wanna come out and say hello? She's like, no, I'm sleepy. Hi, pretty girl. But now that she knows that there's no food, I can stick my hand in front of her face and she'll lem it because she wants to know what, you know, what's in front of her face. But that's pretty much all she does. I can get a little closer. One of the downsides to bioactive that makes filming things a little bit more difficult. Sweet Miss Stella. So hands and fingers in her enclosure, and she's totally chill about it. One of the most valuable things I've found when working with the animals this way is just to ensure in whatever approach works best for you, ensure the animal knows that you are not food and food is not involved. So I don't use hooks that often. I will if I need to. So if I feel like I need the hook for whatever reason to interact with the animal, I will grab a hook and, you know, make sure that everyone stays safe. For the most part, this is my approach to working with all of my animals. So yeah, do the approach that works best for you. But that's just my very basic approach to working with animals, getting them used to having hands and fingers and, you know, warm things that aren't food in their enclosure and helping them learn how to differentiate between them. That's about it for this video. If you have any questions or additional information you would like to share, drop it in the comments below. Like and subscribe is always so appreciated. Thank you to those of you who have already done so, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye.